In the peaceful village of Umuaro, nestled between hills and rivers, there once lived a woman named Nneoma. In her youth, she was known as the most beautiful maiden in the land. Her skin was as smooth as the petals of a hibiscus flower, and her eyes sparkled like the morning sun on a dewy leaf. Men from distant villages traveled to Umuaro, hoping to win her heart, and women sought her out to learn the secrets of her beauty. She was the pride of her village. But time, as it always does, took its toll. The once smooth skin of Nneoma began to wrinkle. Her hair, once dark and thick, turned silver. Her radiant beauty faded with the years, and the villagers, who had once admired her, now spoke in hushed tones about how she had aged. Nneoma, however, did not mind. She had lived a full life and accepted the natural course of things, but deep within her, a secret longing began to grow. She wished to see her youth again, just once more. One evening, as the sun set in a fiery orange sky, a stranger came to Nneoma's door. He was a man with dark, piercing eyes and an air of mystery about him. He introduced himself as Agbodi, a wandering healer and traveler. He spoke with a smooth voice, full of charm, and he seemed to know many things about Nneoma's past. "I've heard of your beauty, Nneoma. It is said that you were once the most beautiful maiden in the land. Time may have changed you, but I know a secret," Agbodi said, his voice thick with promise. Nneoma, though hesitant, invited him into her humble home. She offered him roasted yam and palm wine, which he accepted gratefully. After they had shared the meal, Agbodi leaned forward, his eyes glinting like two dark jewels. "I can help you regain your youth," he whispered, his tone heavy with the weight of mystery. "But there is a price. A gift, if you will, to remind you of the cost of beauty." From beneath his cloak, he revealed a wooden chair, intricately carved with strange symbols. The chair seemed to glow faintly in the dim light of the hut, as though it possessed a power of its own. "This chair," Agbodi continued, "is no ordinary chair. It is enchanted. If you sit upon it, your beauty will return, your youth will be restored. But beware, for each time someone else sits on it, they will lose their youth and beauty in exchange for yours." Nneoma's eyes widened. She could hardly believe what she was hearing. "What do you mean, they will lose their youth?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Young and old alike," Agbodi replied, "when they sit on this chair, they will age quickly, while you will regain what you have lost. It is a gift that comes with a curse." Nneoma, though unsure, felt a deep desire to once again feel the thrill of youth. She had longed for it in secret, and now, here was a chance to make that dream a reality. The temptation was too strong to resist. She agreed to take the chair, and Agbodi, smiling, left her home without another word. The next morning, Nneoma placed the chair in the center of her hut and sat upon it. The moment she did, she felt a wave of warmth and energy surge through her body. Her skin grew smooth again, and her hair regained its dark luster. Her eyes sparkled once more, and she felt as though she were a young woman again. She laughed with joy, admiring herself in the reflection of a nearby water bowl. But as she basked in her regained beauty, she remembered Agbodi's warning. She had to be careful who sat in the chair. Days passed, and word of Nneoma's miraculous transformation spread like wildfire throughout the village. The villagers marveled at her beauty, and soon, people from neighboring villages came to see the woman who had somehow turned back time. They were all drawn to her like moths to a flame. One day, a young maiden named Adeabi visited Nneoma. Adeabi had heard stories of Nneoma's beauty, and she was eager to meet the woman who seemed to have defied the very laws of nature. When she arrived at Nneoma's hut, she was greeted with warmth and kindness. Nneoma, seeing the girl's wide eyes and youthful energy, decided to offer her a gift. Adeabi, "Sit upon this chair," she said, her voice soft but full of hidden meaning. "It will bring you wisdom and strength." Adeabi, eager to please, took a seat on the wooden chair. The moment she sat down, Nneoma's eyes gleamed with a sense of triumph. Adeabi's once vibrant face began to sag, her bright eyes dimmed, and her smooth skin started to wrinkle. In a matter of seconds, the girl's youth seemed to slip away, leaving behind an old, fair woman. Nneoma, filled with a strange mixture of joy and guilt, watched as Adeabi stood up, her face now marked by the signs of age. What happened? Adeabi gasped, trembling as she touched her face in disbelief. Nneoma's heart pounded in her chest, but she smiled, though her smile was filled with an unsettling bitterness. "The chair has given me what I longed for, my youth, and now you will learn the price of beauty." But Adeabi, though shaken, was not a fool. She knew that something was wrong. "What have you done, Nneoma?" she asked, her voice trembling with both anger and sorrow. "You've stolen my youth." Nneoma, for the first time, felt a pang of remorse, but it was too late. She had already made her choice. As time went on, more villagers came to Nneoma's hut, eager to experience the magic of the chair. And with each new person who sat on it, Nneoma grew younger, while the others aged before her eyes. The villagers, once fond of her, now grew wary and fearful. They whispered behind her back, calling her a witch and a thief of youth. But it was too late for Nneoma. She had become addicted to the chair, unable to resist the temptation of youth, no matter the cost. One day, a wise and daring hunter named Emeka arrived in the village. Emeka had heard the rumors about Nneoma and the mysterious chair, and he decided to investigate for himself. Disguised as a traveling merchant, Emeka visited Nneoma's hut and engaged her in conversation. After some time, Nneoma invited Emeka to sit on the chair, offering him a taste of its power. But Emeka, wise to the ways of trickery, had come prepared. As Nneoma turned her back to fetch a drink, Emeka slyly placed a carved wooden figure on the chair instead of sitting on it himself. The moment Nneoma turned to see him, she froze. The chair crackled and hissed with an angry sound, its magic twisting in ways it had never done before. "What have you done?" Nneoma cried, her voice quaking with fear. Emeka stood tall, his eyes blazing with righteous anger. "I've come to stop this madness, Nneoma. Your beauty is built on the suffering of others. Return what you have stolen, or face the consequences." The villagers, drawn by the commotion, stormed Nneoma's hut. They surrounded her, and with one voice, they demanded justice. Realizing she could not escape the truth, Nneoma broke down in tears, confessing to her crimes. The villagers, though sympathetic to her longing for youth, could not allow the evil of the chair to continue. They took the cursed seat, burned it in a great fire, and cast Nneoma out of the village. Nneoma wandered into the forest, never to be seen again. It is said that her cries can still be heard at night, carried on the wind, as a warning to those who would trade their souls for beauty. As for the village of Umuaro, they learned a valuable lesson: beauty is fleeting, but the strength of character endures. They treasured the wisdom of the elders, and the youth no longer sought the chair, for they knew that true beauty comes not from magic, but from kindness and integrity.